Okay, hi everybody. My name is Rebecca Thorne, and I'm back again with yet again more writing topics. I just can't seem to stop because I just love writing. It's so much fun. So today I want to kickstart an entirely new series that I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping to upload one video a week. We all know how that goes with me, so there might not be one video a week, but I'm going to hope for one video a week. This week I want to talk about finding critique partners. I'm hoping to have a different topic every week, but I think that this one's a really important kickstart to this series, mostly because you have to have feedback for your stuff. So let's talk about the process of finding a critique partner. I seem to find a lot of people, just out and about in the writing world who are getting started. They're writing their book. Maybe they're ready to query their book, but they can't seem to find anybody of quality to be consistently editing their novels. Now, if you want an actual professional editor, you're going to have to pay for that. Agents will do it for free once they sign you, but in order to get an agent, you usually have to have a really, really polished book. But not everybody has the money to pay for a professional editor. They're pretty expensive most of the time. So instead, a way to kind of cut the cost but still get your book to that quality is through critique partners or beta readers. So if you're just getting started writing a book, just remember that this is an absolutely essential part. Before you send your book out to any literary agents, you really, really, really need to have somebody taking a look at it to tell you what the problems are, because none of us write a perfect book, first and foremost, at all, ever. My alarm clock is going off. I'm so sorry. Give me one sec. This is just a great start to this. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm hearing like birds chirping in the distance, and I'm just like, that's weird. Like, I live in Arizona. I don't know why there would be birds. That's why there would be birds. Anyway, okay, so critique partners are super, super valuable. Beta readers are basically the same thing. You'll hear them used interchangeably. If you see the abbreviation CP on like Twitter or something, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about critique partners or beta readers, which again are the same. So let's talk about how you find a beta reader of quality. So step one, write the book. You can't really send your book out to anybody until it is complete. Now, I'll add an addendum here. You can't send it to literary agents until it's complete. You have to have a finished book. You can start sending chapters out to people beforehand just to kind of get their opinion on how it's progressing. Sometimes you can have an alpha reader who typically reads your book like chapter by chapter. And this all just kind of depends on your personal preference. Like, some people want to hold their book very tight to their chest and they don't want to give it up until it's done. And some people really need that constant feedback. Like, if you're a fan fiction writer, you're probably used to reviews on every single chapter, which is really, really encouraging and great. But when you're writing an original book, there's really nowhere to post those chapters. Okay. If you decide to post your chapters online, be aware that you cannot get that book published once you're done. You cannot publish something online in its entirety and then expect to sell it to an agent or a publisher later on. You can't, because it has the first publication rights, and if you publish it online, no one's going to pay money for that same content when they can already get it for free. So do not publish your entire story online. Don't even publish like a third of your story online. Like, you can share the first chapter or two, but like, be very clingy about where you are posting these chapters, because original fiction is different than fan fiction. You want to make sure that there's an actual opportunity to send it somewhere. And if you publish it online on like Wattpad or something, you lose all of that ability to send that to an agent later on. So don't do it. But in order to find critique partners or beta readers, you ideally want to have a larger chunk of the book done, because otherwise you're kind of just wasting everybody's time. Like, I start and stop 17 different stories before I decide which one I actually want to work on, and then I'll pick that one and keep going with it. But I'm not going to send those 17 different story ideas to my beta readers, because that's really just asking them to get invested in characters and a story and a setting that then will not go anywhere because I got distracted by the shiny new idea and wanted to chase that instead. It's not really a good waste of a good use of their time, and it's not really a good use of yours. So don't do that. But anyway, finish the book, write the book. That's step number 1. Step number 2, join a critique group. Now, I know that this is what you're watching and you're just like, yeah, no kidding. If I could join a critique group, I would have already done it and I would not be watching this video. When I say join a critique group, I mean that now's the time after your book is finished to start putting out feelers to find people who are interested in your genre, interested in your plot, and interested in your writing. So this can happen. I linked some stuff down below. Scribophile is a really great one. That's basically an online forum where you can, post like a chapter at a time, not the whole thing. But you can post a query letter or a synopsis or a chapter or something, and then people will give you feedback. And if there's somebody that you really vibe with, you can actually send them a private message and then start to foster a relationship from there. So that website is pretty useful for that. There's a couple other ones down there. I found a CP match with Write On Con. That's mostly for Kidlit. It looks like it's for Kidlit, but it seems like it would be a really cool option if you're writing middle grade or young adult. And then, there's other options, like there are Discord servers that will create, critique partners. Like my Discord server, we don't specifically foster critique partners, but I know that a couple of people have actually been able to pair up because they've been offering each other feedback over months, and it's fostered a relationship like that. So finding some kind of critique partner or critique group is really, really useful, even if it's not like your beta. Getting yourself involved in a group where people are reading and reviewing everything is really, really helpful. I actually found a critique group through NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, that for anybody who doesn't know, you write 50,000 words in the month of November, and you're able to meet up in real life coffee shops, not during COVID times, but normally you're able to meet up in real life coffee shops and everybody brings their laptops and you get to know local writers, which is awesome because then you have physical people to meet up with once a week or once every other week and do a critique group that way. I also found one of my beta readers through fan fiction. I found some of her stuff and I really loved the way she wrote, and she read some of my stuff and loved the way that I wrote, and we started chatting and it kind of formed a friendship of a lifetime, which is great. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved, but the big thing is to make sure that you're getting out there and meeting other writers, because that's how you're going to find somebody who really connects with what you're writing. The next one is fostering relationships. I think that a lot of people expect querying to be quick or publishing to be quick. Like, oh, I'm going to be published before I'm 17, and it's just like publishing takes forever. When I was young, my dad told me that it would take me 7 years on average. That's what he read. 7 years on average to get a book published. And at the time, I think I was 18, and I was like, no, it's not going to take me that long. Yeah, no, it did. It did take me that long. I started querying in earnest when I was 23, and I am now almost 30, and my book is just getting published. It's not something to be rushed, and that's okay, because you want to enjoy the process as you're moving along. You want to make sure that what you're experiencing is something you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy the experience of querying, the experience of writing, the experience of being involved in the writing community, if your only goal is publication, you're going to be very unhappy, because publication is one moment in a huge race. You wouldn't run a marathon just to pass the finish line. It's a great, goal, but you have to enjoy running if you're going to do a marathon. And that's what this is. So make sure that you understand that relationships like this, beta relationships, take time. All of the beta readers that I've had, I've known for years. And that's because I took the time to foster that relationship with them. I wasn't expecting them to drop everything in their lives, and read my book right away immediately, 1 month after meeting them. That's not how relationships work. You have to put in the time. Now I will say that if I email one of my betas and say, oh my God, please, can you read this by Wednesday? Most of the time they'll try to make the time to do it. But I also have to recognize that they have things going on in their lives that may stop that. So just keep in mind that it takes a lot of time to foster those relationships. Step number 4, reciprocity is key. This is going to be the main one. I only have 5 steps, so we're almost done. But this is going to be the main one that I kind of want to drive home. If you want to get an amazing beta reader who does such wonderful things for your book, you'd better be bringing something to the table. No beta reader who is amazing is going to go ahead and edit your stuff if your stuff is terrible. So you have to take the time to foster your own writing and make sure that it is really as good as you can possibly get it. But then more than that, you have to take the time to be a really good editor on top of it. And that's all. That is something, luckily, the relationships all take time. That all kind of tends to happen in the background, but you improving your critique skills can happen right now in this moment, which is great because you want to be a better editor, because being a better editor makes you a better writer. Suddenly now if you're reading a bunch of craft books, like I've got a lot of those, all that entire top shelf is mostly craft books for writing. So you want to make sure that you take the time to read those books, and really review your craft, the story structure, the character development, the plot progression, point of view options, sentence structure. All of those things play into how well you will be able to critique someone else's stuff. And that means that when you actually send your critiques out, they're really valuable because people are actually getting a lot out of them, which makes them want to spend more time on your stuff. That's kind of how life works. If somebody does something nice for you, it makes you really want to go and do something really nice for them because they showed you that they really cared. So when you're expecting to get feedback on your stuff, make sure that you are giving equally good feedback on theirs. I'll add an addendum here. When you're sending out your stuff to other people, never, ever, ever agree to do an entire novel's worth of editing at once, especially if you have no relationship with this person before now. You might read their first chapter and think, wow, this book is great. Oh my God, I love this plot. I would love to read this book all the way through. And then you might find out that they don't take critique very well. So you send back the suggestions you had on chapter 1, and they disregard all of them, but then they still expect you to read the rest of their novel. That's a waste of your time and it's a waste of theirs. Don't do it, So exchanging a chapter or two, seeing how the other person takes that feedback, and then seeing if you guys vibe on an editor level, that really is what you're looking for here. A beta reader and a critique partner, they're special. You don't typically have 50 of them. You usually have like 3 or 4, and those people are the ones that you've weeded out after editing 50 people's things to say, these people are the ones whose advice I'll always take, and these people are the ones whose writing I always want to read. So like if any of my beta readers send me stuff, I get super excited to see it in my inbox because I know it's going to be good and I know it's going to be exactly what I want to read. And same with them. When I send them my stuff, they know that it's exactly what they want to read too. So always take things in a small chunk. See how you guys vibe. It's really kind of like a marriage, like you wouldn't really want to, agree to marry somebody without doing a dating period first, to have a probationary period where you guys are trying each other out and seeing if you're vibing on that level. And don't be afraid to walk away. If they're making you feel bad about your edits, or they're just not giving you the type of feedback that you're able to provide them, it's not going to be an equal partner exchange. They're getting more out of it than you will, and it's not worth your time. So know your own value too. You've got to improve your own value. But if somebody sends you something that's just absolutely god awful terrible and wants you to basically rewrite it for them, that's a red flag. Run. And if you're the person who wants somebody else to rewrite something for you, what are you doing? Like, go write your own book. You should be writing and editing your own stuff. You should not be relying on your beta readers to reconstruct your novel for you in a better format. So keep in mind, that all kind of plays into finding a critique partner and keeping them. I think that those are all really important things to note. The final step number 5, is pick your favorites and make sure they like your writing too. I guess I moved on too quickly. This was what I was saying before. Pick your favorite beta readers. Choose the few that you already have, that you really vibe with, and make sure that they enjoy your stuff just as much as you enjoy theirs. That, I think, will foster a long-term beta relationship that can span over years. And it's fun to watch your beta readers kind of becoming as engaged in the publishing process as you are, So like I know beta readers who have started when they're baby novelists and they're just writing their first book, and then they've grown for 15 years into these published authors with multiple titles under their name, and they get to talk everything from getting the agent to getting published to, holding their book in their hands and knowing that the other person helped them get it there. That's really great. I think that that's something that can't really be bought or exchanged or replaced. I think that's just something pure about this industry. And how lucky are we that we get to be a part of it. So anyway, that is my little quick workshop, writing basics on finding critique partners. Like I said, I have some links down below if you'd like to take a look at those. Quick plug, my novel is coming out in 74 days. The Secrets of Star Whales is being published on March 23rd, 2021 by Jollyfish Press, and it will be out in bookstores locally. Might be here and there for bookstores, but it'll definitely be everywhere online. And you guys can order that book right now. And every book sale helps me a lot, and I really appreciate it, you guys. I'm so excited. Anyway, sorry. This is the first book I've ever published. It's my debut novel, and I'm just like over the moon. I can't wait. I can't believe that it's happening in 3 months. Like, oh my God. Anyway, so there's a plug for me too, because this is my channel and self-promotion, So if you guys want to pre-order my book, there's a link down below. Otherwise, check out the resources links here and hit me up with any questions. I'd be happy to advise anybody about critique partners. And I'm thinking I'll do character agency next week for our writing basics, thing. So if you want to join next week, I'll probably post last minute and have 15 minutes to talk about character agency, and then we'll be good. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I hope that you all pre-order my book. Thanks. Bye.